So I'm going into turn 2 of Invasion Pearl Harbor. This is December 7th, 1941 still, but maybe we're more toward the afternoon. And the Japanese forces have a foothold on Oahu with 3 beachheads, as well as they do control the very end of that mountain pass, which you can see in the map leads across to Honolulu. 4 American companies have been knocked out from the U.S. 25th Infantry, and the Japanese have suffered 2 step losses. So we begin the turn with the Japanese landing phase. So the landing phase is going to be affected by the fact that 2 of the Japanese units are already on beachheads because they stalled during their landing. So it's just focusing on the disorganization that happened there. So there's only 1 space to land units, but these landings are successful this time. So we go to the U.S. activation phases. As I said in the prior video, the activation is going to be a series of chit draws that will activate a U.S. formation, which will either be able to move or fight depending on the chit, and it is quite random to recognize the surprise and disorganization. And of course, the Japanese can interrupt a chit pull segment and take either his movement phase or his combat phase. So we start, though, with the American drawing the first chit, and it is the U.S. 25th Division's fight chit. So 2 courageous American units attack the Japanese army just outside of the beachhead, and both sides end up losing a step. Then I draw another chit, U.S. Marine Corps move. So the American units have a variable movement rate, again simulating the fact that they're only partially trained and that they've been caught off guard. So the Marine units are in the dark blue, and you can see them toward the top of the map. So there's a Marine unit in Eva Beach, and it moves toward the northern side of Pearl Harbor. The other 3 Marine companies don't get very far because I rolled very low movement point die rolls, so unfortunately. So the U.S. 25th Division gets the move chit, and now they have an opportunity to reposition themselves. So the forwardmost company misses their movement roll, and they remain trapped among the Japanese troops. Then I have 4 other infantry companies move to the mountains through the pass on the east side of the mountain range. And 2 of the 25th Division's units move into Fort Shafter, which you can see about in the middle of the picture. And then some of the units near Pearl Harbor begin to move toward Honolulu. Next, I draw the U.S. 24th Division fight. And since none of these units are in contact with the enemy, it's a wasted chit this turn. The next chit I draw is Battleship Row fight. Again, the enemy's not in range, so they don't get to do anything. The next chit I draw is the U.S. Marine Corps fight. Again, they're not in contact, so it's a wasted chit. The next chit I draw is the U.S. 24th Division's movement, and so those are the darker green units in the center right of the map here, and they're encamped at the Schofield Barracks. So these units are beginning to move toward where the action is, and again, they have variable movement rates, so what you're seeing is a lumbering division that is moving in disarray and disorganization. The American player is now out of chits. Now, I could have interrupted in between chit pulls to activate the Japanese, but I decided to see what the Americans were doing. So I thought it was safer to wait and see what the American reaction was going to be. So I now take the Japanese movement phase, and I used the Japanese Army's 5th Company, which is a reduced unit, to move to the coast, and it captures the naval air station there without a fight. So that's worth 2 victory points. Then the 10th Marine captures Bellows Field. That's another 2 victory points. This is basically uncontested. And then the rest of the units on the beachheads move forward, as you can see on the map, toward the weak screening force of the U.S. 25th Division, which I have marked on the map as a roadblock. Then I take the Japanese combat phase, so I have the Marines open with an attack against 2 American units on the Japanese left. You can't see them in the picture because they were eliminated in the attack, and this picture was taken afterwards. But on the right, the Japanese army, they're the orange units, also overrun a lone infantry company that was stuck behind, and that's easily dispatched. So the U.S. 25th Infantry has lost 4 more companies, and the Japanese have suffered negligible damage at this point, and now they have 7 victory points collected. So that brings turn 2 to a conclusion. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned if you'd like to see what happens next. Have a great day.